Triumphant Tales is your place for hope and healing, 'cause you got this, girl.
Here's Patricia with a Y with today's episode.
And welcome back to another edition of Triumphant Tales. And today we're talking with high performance coach Clay Green. And he has got some great inspiration and information on mindset. And we all know that everything begins in the mind. When it comes to freedom, it begins between our ears. And so let's welcome Clay Green to Triumphant Tales. Clay.
Hey, awesome to see you.
And it's awesome to see you too. So where are you coming in from? Because you said that this was an office that you're not so comfortable with.
It's kind of awkward. Yeah, we have a house guest right now. I live in Portland, Oregon, and I've converted one of the spare bedroom into a wonderful office where I have a stand-up desk, and I'm not standing up. So that's an awesome thing. It's like I love to stand up. It keeps my energy going and all that good stuff. There's a lot of things there.
Yeah, and energy is what you're all about with that whole enthusiastic angle. And you do have a lot of energy, a lot of movement. That is awesome. So the thing that attracted me to your profile was that you have it boiled down to 3 habits.
There's only 3 that matter in my mind, and I'll give them away because your listeners, you've heard them all before. This is not news, but these 3 habits. Long story short, I've undergone 25 plus years of adult training. And then about 4 years ago now, I went through a somewhat traumatic experience, which your readers can read about and whatnot and hear about in different interviews and stuff. But the bottom line is have always been a why guy, and I've always needed to know the root reason that these things happen before I could actually apply them, or why they're effective before I could apply these reasons or these habits. And 3 or 4 years ago, something happened to me that made me dive into the human brain deep. And I did that. And now I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, and I believe in every crevice of my being, that these 3 habits are the beginning of everything. And if you are doing these habits, awesome. If you're not doing these habits, start now. Do whatever it takes to develop these habits. These are the root core of everything. And if you are doing these habits, grow them. That's the bottom line. Keep getting better. Keep amplifying them in your life.
And it boils down, so what are they? What are these 3 little things? You know, this reminds me of that movie with the cows, and he has that one thing. It was Jack Palance. It was Jack Palance, and it was...
oh, yeah.
Exactly. But anyways, he had that. Yeah, City Slickers. That's the one. One thing. So you've got 3.
That you just tied into clarity, actually, which is not really the 3 things, but I totally buy that one thing, by the way. I'm 100% behind that. But to help you get that one thing, to help you stay focused on that one thing, to leverage the most powerful thing that we all have, which is our brain and our mind, those 3 habits, very simple and very straightforward: meditation, journaling, and a life or a practice of gratitude.
Wow. I like that because, you know, those are all 3 things that we endorse heavily here on Triumphant Tales. Meditation, journaling, and what was that last one?
Gratitude.
Gratitude.
A practice of gratitude. Like gee, I'm thankful for the sun this morning, and I'm thankful that I have my water, and I'm thankful that, you know, there's a list thing, and that's where you have to start typically. But eventually you get into a point where the practice develops to a point where you're literally every other breath or every breath, you're like noticing something that you're grateful for. I mean, that's the depth of gratitude we're talking about. Gratitude, a life of gratitude.
Absolutely. And, you know, it can be so easy to get trapped up in the complaints and the whines and the this didn't go right and that didn't go right. And when you do start to focus on gratitude, you start to notice more to be grateful for as well.
Oh,
I
so
mean, I
much.
find it feeds upon itself, really.
There's so much. There's so much. And what you just described, for those of you that want to learn more, I highly recommend coming and grabbing the opt-in that we'll talk about in a few minutes, because there's like a 60-minute video. Ultimately, the first one's like a little 5-minute video where I talk about these things. But what you just described is the way that our subconscious literally stops us from getting what we want, from being who we want, from living the life we want, and being grateful. Is we are conditioned and we are trained to see literally the things that worry us, the things that scare us, the things that capture our attention are the horrible fire that happened, downtown and almost killed 3 people on the news. These dramatic things are the things that we are conditioned to pay attention to from eons of evolution. And our brains are literally hardwired to see those things and focus on those things. And that's why meditation is so important, because we have to start becoming aware when that first urge to look over here at the train wreck, or the car, you're driving down the highway and you can't take your eyes off the car crash.
The rubbernecking.
You gotta train yourself that, no, I don't want to look at that because I don't want to be in a car crash. I want to be going down the highway where I want to go. I want to reach my destination, my goal. And that's why meditation, I keep tapping my head. It's not a nervous tick. It's the brain. That's why meditation is so important.
And it is. It's very important. Now, with the journaling, what do you advise for people who feel that they can't write?
Quick little exercise. Quick little exercise for anybody and everybody. You ready? Say purple polka dot pony. Say it.
Purple
right?
polka dot pony.
Okay, now write it. Handwrite that out. Handwrite purple polka dot pony. Now, think about the difference. After you're done doing that, think about the difference in what your brain had to do in order for you to say it and think about it versus write it and think about it. The muscles, the activation on the vast different parts of your brain that had to activate all these muscles to get your hand to write. Add to that the feedback loop of your eye watching what you were looking at, because I saw you writing. I saw what you were looking at, right? Everybody looks down at what they're writing.
Absolutely.
And you're reading it, and you're controlling the height of your letters and the shapes. The difference in the parts of the brain that are engaged when you're handwriting something versus typing, or versus texting with the thumbs, or versus speaking, what did I say, purple polka dot pony?
Purple polka dot pony.
Yeah, whatever it was. The difference and the amplification of what's happening in your brain and the synapses that are being fired off and what's going on in your head between when you write and when you just think about it or say it is vast. And that's why journaling, when I say journaling, and I'm talking about the beginning stages of meditation, journaling, and gratitude, the beginning stages of those practices are 5 minutes a day. Your listeners are busy. We're all busy. But you start with something as small as 5 minutes a day where you're meditating and you're thinking about something you're grateful for, and you're writing something that you're thankful for. That is the base level, most basic thing that you can do and start with. And that writing aspect of it will change dramatically how your brain is working. The meditation's doing something different. The meditation is quieting your brain and becoming okay with the things that pop up. But the writing is, what it does to your head is just so huge.
Awesome. So is there a particular reason that you went with meditation, journaling, gratitude, or is it just you do all three, so it doesn't matter which order you remember them in?
The single most important thing is meditation. If you have to do one, download Headspace It's a wonderful little app. It's free for a bunch of uses or whatever it is, and it guides you through explaining what meditation is. I personally don't resonate with it very much, and that's the other thing. Don't be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid to taste something and not like it. If Headspace doesn't work for you, go on YouTube, go on the App Store, and find more things that will resonate with you, and do whatever it takes to get that meditation habit started. What you're doing in your brain is so vital when you're meditating.
Awesome.
Like I said, I can go on for hours talking about that.
And most of us can. When it comes to our passion, most of us can talk for hours. But we can't keep you here for hours, so we thank you for bringing those 3 habits to light for us. And for the listeners who have been engaged and want to learn more about how to use meditation, journaling, and gratitude to reach those high performance levels that you're dreaming of in your life. No matter where you are, you can start with those 3, 5 minutes a day, and that's really all it takes. 15 minutes altogether to do all 3 habits. Oh, he's saying you can do it all in 5.
Do whatever it takes to start. When I started meditating, I had to start with like little 2-minute segments.
There you go. You can do it in as little as 2 minutes. Now, I know it can be hard to find space, and but you can get at least 2 minutes in the bathroom, ladies. We know that we can get at least 2 minutes in the bathroom. Thank you so much, Clay. And they can visit you at enthusiasticclay.com. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing your wisdom with us.
Thank you for having me. It's been freaking a blast. And live enthused, live empowered, live enabled, live empowered, live enthused, live enabled, live enthusiastically.
And I know that you definitely inspire us to do so. Thanks so much.
Thanks.
You can't keep me down, tied up and bound, stuck to the ground. 'Cause guess what? I found my crown. Dreams never drown. What's been lost has been found. So watch me fly to my freedom. Triumphant Tales is your place for hope and healing. 'Cause you got this, girl.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Triumphant Tales. While you're still pumped up from this episode, be sure to write down your Triumph task and connect at patricia.com for this week's Triumph tools. Until next time, stay safe and think free.